What's up guys, and welcome back to Tech Plant. Today I'm making a video that most of you have been asking for, and that is what LED lights am I using and what do I recommend. I'm going to cover three categories. One is going to be kind of the more generic light that I think works best for almost anything. Second is going to be kind of for if you have like an aesthetic setup like in the living room. Or third, for you high intensity growers that are growing vegetables in your basement or other high yield plants. So let's check it out. Alright, this has been the most asked question on almost every LED video I've produced, and that is, what is my recommendation? I'm going to break down these recommendations into three different use cases. The first category, which is probably going to please 90% of you, is going to be on a shelf. I grow almost all my plants on shelves, so I've been using lights for about 2.5 years in this scenario. So for that situation, I'm going to recommend Barrina grow lights. I started out with their shop lights as a test, and then I noticed that they did come out with grow lights and they've been really awesome. Here's why I like these lights so much. Number one, they can come in 2-foot or 4-foot lengths, so that means they're pretty versatile on different shelf sizes that you guys might have. The next part that I really like about them is that you can kind of chain them together or link them together. So usually I put 2 or 3 lights on one plug so I can control multiples at the same time. This is really nice because you don't just have one single light controlled by one plug, and you can kind of vary your setups, and again, it just gives you a very diverse way to kind of set these up. The other thing I absolutely love about these lights is you can kind of configure them however you want. It's super flexible. Most grow lights are a single unit that you have to point in one direction, and that's kind of it. But with these, they come in a 4 or a 6 pack, and you can kind of mount them under your shelves however you please. If one light isn't cutting it, you can add a second light. If 2 lights are too much, you can take a light away. So I think that just adds tons of flexibility to your setups and will really allow you to grow the plants the way you want to and the way they need to. These lights also come with a pretty convenient way to kind of mount them. You can either screw the clips directly into wood, or in my case with wire shelves, they have these little kind of rings that allow you to hang it, and it's just absolutely perfect. These lights went on my shelves without a cinch, and I really love them. The next category is going to be for those of you with not a lot of plants, but kind of an aesthetic setup. So maybe it's in your living room or somewhere that you want to kind of look nice and you're not just jamming your plants on shelves. And these, I'm going to recommend SANSI Lights. They usually make a kind of a nice like lamp light bulb insert, or just more of a light bulb that you could hang from the ceiling. These work really good and much better than like traditional like grow light bulbs that you see from GE or Philip, because they can go quite a distance, so you can hang them a little high and still get to your bigger plants and like single plants sitting on the floor. They also sell kind of an LED like square thing that you can mount on the wall or ceiling, and again, I think these options look really nice and still provide plenty of light to your plants. These would be good for like a big monstera or other like big corner plants that might be in more of a darker place. For the last category, these are kind of the high intensity grow lights. I've gotten tons of these from companies over the years, and honestly, right now what I like the most is anything with the Samsung LEDs and a nice name brand driver, like a Meanwell driver. You can find these features in a ton of companies. You can find them in like Atreum, you can find them in ViparSpectra, I think Mars Hydro, SpiderFarmer. They're almost everywhere right now. After that, you can kind of choose the company light that you want by kind of the bells and whistles that they include, because a lot of them kind of vary their light a little bit differently depending on if you want a little LCD screen, you want slave master capabilities, or maybe you want dimming features. It really kind of depends on your application, and then you can go from there. But just make sure that they have those Samsung LEDs and you should be good to go. Well guys, that pretty much sums up our video. I hope you enjoyed it. Again, these Barrina lights are absolutely excellent. I'm growing carnivorous plants, succulents, cactuses, aeroids, and many other things underneath them, and they're all doing great. So I can promise you, you won't be disappointed with these lights. And for those of you who aren't really growing on shelves or kind of need a different approach, the other lights I recommended will also please you quite well. As always, may your plants grow strong and healthy. I will see you next time.